What's up, everybody? This is Brady. Welcome back to the Low Life Podcast. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody had a good weekend. My life has not been too exciting as of lately, but getting back into doing car stuff, which is pretty cool. About to order my harness bar. Probably literally like as soon as this podcast ends, I'm ordering that. So that's really cool. I've been talking about that for a little while. Finally gonna get it ordered after putting it off for like a month. And then I got an engine dress up kit for my engine bay of the Tiburon, which is pretty cool. I've been meaning to order that forever. I've just been forgetting. So I might throw a pickup of that so you guys can see what that looks like. And it's pretty much, excuse me, any of the bolts that are in your engine bay, you replace them with these colored ones with like shiny screws so it looks nicer and add some more color, some more flair, a little more pop to your engine bay, especially if you have a show car you want and you pop the hood, you want to have color and stuff under there. So that's pretty cool. My girlfriend helped me install those, so shout out to you, babe. That was fun. I like doing stuff with her, and I like teaching her car stuff and having her help me and learn. It's really fun. It's something I've always kind of wanted in a relationship, so that's really dope. So again, shout out to you, babe. And then, yeah, hopefully get my harness bar here in a week or two, and then try installing that. That'll be a fun learning process. But yeah, just been chilling. My girlfriend was gone for a few days last week, so I got a lot of time in with my homies, my guy friends, car friends, doing car stuff, taking pictures, hanging out at the car wash, the old school stuff I used to do back when I was didn't when I had a lot more free time because I didn't have a real job and all that shit. But hopefully I'll start trying to do that more with the homies because I know they all kind of miss it too. But anyway, um, as for shows and meets this week, here in the city on Thursday is a monthly meet that they have here in the city at Twin Peaks called the Thursday Night Mega Meet, and it's just like an insane time. Like hundreds and hundreds of cars show up every time and pack out the parking lot behind this Twin Peaks, and like there's always these crazy cars like Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Porsches, Ford GTs, Panteras, just all these crazy cars that like you don't ever really see at like any other car meet. So it's really cool to see some of those kind of fancy, expensive cars come out and do a car meet. But this week is special and sad because I guess somebody in the Mustang community was hit by a drunk driver and died. And so this week they're having Cobra takeover. So it's going to be all Cobras up in front of the restaurant where all the Ferraris normally are. And there's going to be all these different Cobras and stuff. So that'll be really cool. So, and then they're having a fundraiser for the guy's daughter. So that'll be really cool. So if you're from the city and you live on the north side of town, Memorial, up by that area, come out to Twin Peaks, come out. I'm going to be there. I'm going to try and get there early. I haven't gone in months, so should be pretty fun. See some people I haven't seen, hopefully. Maybe some homies will come. We'll see. So that's Thursday this week on Thursday. And then let's see, is there any shows this week? The Drift event is this weekend that I've talked about for the past, I don't know, month almost. So Neon Drift was Saturday. It starts at 12 and ends at 10. If you want to see the neon and all the lights and maybe come a little later, that's kind of what my plan is. And then nothing else this week, just Neon Drift and the Mega Meet. No, I don't really have any local shows or anything to talk about. But yeah, that's all your meets. And then for your, all right, so I'm gonna have couple throwback jams and then a new jam. But first throwback jam this week is an album I kind of forgot about that I used to listen to a lot. I just noticed they posted it. It's on iTunes. It's called Continent by the Acacia Strain, and that album came out in 2008, but I think they just put up a remastered version of it. because it's in new releases on iTunes, which is weird because it's a 10-year-old album. So definitely go listen to that album. It's just so dumb heavy. It's just one of the first like really heavy like albums I got into back in high school. Excuse me. And it's just really good. It's like the first album I ever listened to by the Acacia Strain, and if you've never listened to them, they're just always been a stupid heavy band. I really like them. They're really good. So that's first album. For my throwback jams, Continent by the Acacia Strain. And then my second one is going to be an Atreyu album. And I'm trying to remember the name of it because I feel stupid. Becoming the Bull by Atreyu. That was like one of the first ever like metal albums I listened to at all back in like 8th grade. And it really was it was what kind of spun me into like this alternative heavier music. Like them, Bullet, and Avenged Sevenfold are the three bands that really got me into this style of music. So this is really like almost really important album to me. And not almost, it is. And like I just front to back, it's got everything from super heavy to slow songs to acoustic songs. It's just but most of them are really heavy, but also singing, and it's just they were so talented and just always a really good band. This album came out in like 2007, and it's like really held up well. Like it doesn't really sound too dated, and it's just one of my favorites. I remember back in like 8th grade, ninth grade, like when I was on MySpace all the time. I'd sit at the computer at my dad's house and with like headphones in or speakers on, just listening to this album while playing games on the computer. That was like all that I would ever do. Trying to talk to girls on MySpace. But so yeah, just Atreyu, or it's not called Becoming the Bull. I'm stupid. It's called Lead Sails Paper Anchor. But anyway, so that's gonna be the two throwback albums for this week, and I'm only gonna have one new one, but it's called In Our Wake, and it's by Atreyu. They literally just put this album out like this week. I actually haven't listened to any of it but like one song, but knowing Atreyu, it's gonna be good. I didn't I liked the new song. It didn't sound like old stuff, but it's not going to. So I'm hoping it's got some heavier songs on it. It's got 12 songs. Like I said, it literally like just came out like this week. Like it was in the top of the metal new releases on iTunes charts. Like it was the top one. So I'm gonna bet that it's pretty good. Like I said, it literally just came out. So hopefully it's good. Next week I might give you an update on it. I haven't ever really put anything on here that I haven't already listened to all the way, but I just checked and I was like, oh, I need to talk about it because it's Atreyu and Atreyu's life. So anyway, that's the new release for this week. I don't have more than one. But anyway, so on to my main topic this week. It is going to be car related this time, and it if you listen to the last podcast, might seem a little familiar, but it's going to be a little ranty, but if you don't know me, or what I do, I guess, I drive for a living. I'm a delivery driver, so I drive around all day in a little truck delivering car parts. And I see a lot of bad drivers on a pretty much everyday basis. Just people don't know how to drive, and it really bothers me because it's not hard. And you had to take a lesson. You had to learn how to drive. You know what the rules are. You know what the laws are. And it's like the staggering amount of people who just literally don't care is like incredibly dumb to me. But also the people who like drive bad and like don't know that they're bad is like what's so much worse to me. And like one of my biggest like pet peeves when it comes to driving is if you're turning right, say you're going down the road and your turn's coming up and it's into your neighborhood or Taco Bell or wherever you're turning right at. Just turning off of a main road onto like a side road, like a neighborhood road. If you're in a car or an SUV or a truck, like a pickup truck, when you turn right, you do not have to turn left first and then turn right. You do not have to swing out and then back in. That literally makes no sense. You are in a short wheelbase vehicle. What makes you think that you're so wide and long that you have to turn like that? Like you're not driving a semi truck. You're driving a Honda Odyssey minivan. Like you can just make the right without swinging way wide out like you're pulling a trailer. You're not. You're like I just and the amount of people that I see do this almost every day is like dumbfounding to me because you don't have to do that. Your car drives regular without it. I don't like it can make that turn. It's weird. So that's this is all gonna be about bad driving. So I hope you guys are ready. But so that's one of like the biggest things I just don't understand. Also, if you're turning right of a main road, please do not come all the way to a stop to do so. Like you're gonna get rear-ended when you do that. Like I will see people literally come down to like 10 miles an hour to turn into like no, you can make that turn at like 20 and be fine. Like you don't have to like, come to a dead stop. And I know a lot of times it's old people, which that'll be another like sub rant of this topic, but you just don't come to a stop to turn like ever. Like it just you're gonna cause traffic and an accident, and it's like not safe. And then people who are on their phone or like whatever, which we're all guilty of it. I do it sometimes. I know I shouldn't. Typically, while I'm driving at work, I'm never on my phone. I have a podcast playing and I just leave it in the cup holder. But sometimes, you get a text or call or whatever, it happens. But when I see people just holding their phone in front of them, like while driving, like up in front of them, obviously that's more important than them wherever they're driving. And that just infuriates me so bad. I'll see people like start coming out of their lane, back into their lane quick, and I'll see them do it 3 or 4 times, and I'll get next to them, and I'll death stare people, and they'll just look at me, and then they'll put their phone down, and then they'll just pick it back up, and it's just like, you're so stupid. Like, is it really worth it? Like, getting that text from whoever, do you have to reply to it? Like, you don't. You know you're still gonna do it, no matter how many ads from AT&T you hear about people dying and how many people put out a song about it. You're still going to do it. Like why do people not care so bad? Like just you don't need to text back your girlfriend that you think she's pretty, whatever. Like you can wait till you like get at least to a freaking stoplight or something. Like one of the craziest things I've ever seen, and it makes me so mad. Actually, two pretty similar things is here where I live, I have seen people like reading while driving. Like right here by my house, I saw a lady reading like a news article on her phone while driving. And I'm like, can you really not wait to read the news until you get home? Like what are you missing? You know what I mean? Like the news will come on when you get home from work. Like it doesn't, people just have no patience. They have to absorb everything right then and there. And it's just super weird to me. And then the other time I saw, while driving down the road, a guy watching a video on an iPad while he was driving. And if that's not the stupidest shit you've ever heard, I don't know what is, because how you could think, like he was holding it against the steering wheel while driving, like watching like Netflix or something. And it's just incredibly bizarre to me. Like, what what are you watching that you couldn't wait till you get home? Unless you're watching a tutorial on how not to be an idiot. Like, don't do that. That's so. I yelled at him and honked at him, and dude just kept on going, didn't care, and then I never caught back up to him Like, he was gone, but I was just like, what are you doing? I haven't seen anything that's stupid since, but man, people are dumb. Okay, next thing that really bothers me, man, is people who don't know that their headlights and taillights aren't on. And new cars have kind of contributed to this problem because a lot of people have automatic headlights or like daytime running lights. So like they'll see lights and they think that their lights are on when their tail lights aren't on. Like I can't tell you like how many times a week I'm on the way home or driving at night and I'm behind somebody who doesn't have their tail lights on because they don't think that they're not on because their headlights are on. And I'll flash my brights at them 1,000 times and they'll just keep on driving. They won't ever get it. They won't stop and see what I need. I'll get up next to them, won't roll their window down. Like on the way home from somewhere one time, I literally drove behind and next to this guy for like 6 or 7 miles, honking, trying to get him to roll down his window, flashing my lights at him, and then finally, like a mile before my house, the girlfriend rolls her window down. I said, "Your lights aren't on," like he yelled at, and then she turns and like hits her boyfriend, and then he turns them on, and I'm like, how? Like his headlights weren't even on. Like it was dark. How could you not tell? Are you that stupid and like just not aware while you're driving that you couldn't tell your lights weren't on? And not only that, but on top of it, this guy had like blacked out headlights. So like in a black car, like I literally couldn't see him. And I'm like, dude, you're gonna freaking kill somebody. What is wrong with you? Like, how do you not think to do that? How's not the first thing you do as soon as you get in the car when it's dark is turn on the headlights? Or like hit the button or well, some cars luckily have automatic feature now. Thank God, because there's some people who wouldn't make it without that, man. Like they probably need that. But I just and I see it like at least a couple times a week. Like it just and it's like not even it's just such a like basic thing that it just boggles my mind how you could not notice or not do it. Like I notice immediately, like as soon as I'm like, oh, I need to turn my lights on. Like even if it's like sunset and it's like not fully dark yet, and even then, that's what bugs me is people will like hold out to turn their lights on. So you'll see every other car on the road, and then you'll see like two or three. Like it's getting dark. Just turn your lights on. Like what are you holding out for? Oh, it's not dark enough yet. Like who cares? Just turn your lights on. You know what I mean? Like people like are so completely oblivious to like their surroundings sometimes. All right, and then my last major thing that really bugs me is if I am in the left turn lane, turning left at a red light, sitting there, and you're at the perpendicular turning lane. So when you're turning left and you're turning left in front of me, and like you know, going the opposite way, if you're turning left there and you're turning in front of another thing, don't cut so close to people. So many people cut the turn when they're turning left. Like they cut through the opposing turning lane when they're turning. I'm like, why are you doing that? You don't need to cut it so sharp. Like go out a little bit, then cut the wheel, and it's not like a 90-degree angle turn, but it's also not like some people just tard left as soon as the light like and I don't understand it. Like why do you need to cut through the other turn lane when you're turning like that? I don't. And people get like so close to me when the lane and there's actually a car there. Like I've had almost people hit me and like it just happens every day. I watch people do that, and then on top of that, they turn into the outer lane, which when you're making a left-hand turn like that, you're not supposed to turn into the outer lane. You're supposed to turn into the inner lane. And I will sit in my truck at a light and count how many cars go into the outer, and it's like 7 out of 8 almost every time. It's like, do you not know that you're not supposed to do that? Like, don't do that. Like, I feel like I need to give like everybody like a driving instructing book because literally nobody knows anything. like at all about driving. Like I don't know how people get their license. And the old people, who don't even get me started on the old people because they don't even deserve it. Like I feel like every 10 years you need to go take like an updated test because like some old people got their license in like 1957. Like no, like the shit has changed. Cars have changed, laws have changed. Like you shouldn't just get your license and that's it. Like you should have to go and retest for it. Like at least every 10 years. Like just the way they know that you can still drive because like other than that you're just going and updating it. Yep, here I need my license updated. Like that doesn't prove that you can still drive a car. People, I've been saying this shit for years. Like you really need to go retest like every 10 or so years because there are people who are in their late 60s, 70s, 80s who should not be on the road at all. They go 10 and 15 under the speed limit. They go through lights. I've seen videos of these old people driving with a flat tire for like 10 miles and just had no idea. I mean, just it's just crazy. Like people can't, old people can't drive, okay? Like once you hit 70 or maybe 75, you should be required to take a test for your license to keep it. And if you fail it, you have to have some type of provided transportation. I don't know what or who or how, but just old people scare the ever living crap out of me. Like I almost, man, another freaking instance. Like literally 2 weeks ago, driving down the road, I'm in the left hand lane out of on a 4-lane road, just going along, and a lady pulls out, and I can't get over. There's a car a little bit behind me, but in the next lane, and I'm like I can't get over and cut this guy off. And this lady literally just pulls out and starts driving on the wrong side of the road next to me, and I'm like, what? Laying on my horn. Like, what is this lady doing? And then she just tries to get over into me, like I wasn't there. And then I slam out of my brakes, and she gets over in front of me, and I'm like still on my horn. And then I let off. She keeps going, never waves anything. And then we're in the school zone. And then as soon as I get out of the school zone, I pass her, and I'm like waving at her. She never looks up at me, just keeps on driving. Like, and I honk like she had no idea I was there. She never knew I was there. I don't even know she heard my horn. Like it was the most bizarre thing. Like, and she was an older lady. She had to be in like her mid 60s at least. And I'm like, and she, not only that, but what's more funny is she pulled out of a retirement village, which makes me think, are you not supposed to be in there? Because who let you have a car? Like, she almost killed me, and like, literally, I don't think knew that she almost killed me at all. Like, it's just so bad. But anyway, I ranted for 10, 15 minutes now of just me ranting about bad drivers. So, but anyway, if you guys have any experiences similar to mine that you want to share, or if you hate bad drivers as much, comment, message me, whatever, tell me. And if you think you're a bad driver and or you know you're a bad driver, you should also say something because I'd like to know. I think most of the people I know are pretty good, but I've met a few bad ones. So anyway, um, thanks for sharing. Thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting. I really appreciate it. This has been the Low Life Podcast. I'm Brady. Peace.